The following is a special presentation of Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims, alternating the reality of sports and entertainment since 2020. Welcome to this week's installment of the HTBL as I step on my USB headset here. Big Pauly coming to you. Recording date is the 26th of March 2022. We are 39 games deep into the Hometown Baseball League, and we'll have a game of the week here on this channel and a game of the week for you on PayHip. Last week we did an Atlantic League game, so we're going to do a Pacific League game on the YouTube channel, and we'll do an Atlantic League game on PayHip, and then we'll flip-flop next week. Coming at you today, it is the Major League Castaways hosting the Chicago Cubs. We'll go through the standings real quick. Detroit has the best record in HTBL right now at 26-13 in the Mid-East Division, but let's look at the East first. A tie between New York and Boston. Boston will be playing in the PayHip game against Montreal, who is a game back. Philadelphia 3 back, Baltimore 8 back, Washington 9 back, Toronto 10 back. In the Mideast, Detroit leads Cleveland by 4, Tampa Bay by 6, Atlanta and Cincinnati by 7, Pittsburgh by 10, and Miami is 12 back. I'm noticing something here. San Diego. Did San Diego play their last game? I'm just going to double check this real quick on the fly. Yes, they did. Okay, and it updated. Okay. My apologies. In the Midwest, St. Louis and Chicago are tied. Houston, Milwaukee, Minnesota all 2 back at 21-18. Texas, at 8 back. Texburg? What is that? Kansas City is 9 back. In the West, the Major League team is now tied with San Francisco at 25-14. Colorado 4 back, LA 6 back. Arizona 8 back. San Diego is 12 back, but Seattle's in front of them at 10 back. So we're going to take our first of two 30-second commercials, and when we come back, I will have the game all set up for you for today. The Cubs and the Castaways. Set up. Major League Castaways use Anaheim Stadium as their home. It's going to be Fergie Jenkins against Waddy Clark. And we'll go through the lineups. For Chicago, their batting order is as follows. Sandberg at second base. He leads off. Remember, this is a combination of the Cubs and the White Sox greats. Felch at center field bats second. Hartnett is the catcher batting third. Minoso in left batting fourth. Ron Santo at third batting fifth. Ernie Banks is at short. He bats sixth. Konerko is the first baseman batting seventh. Nicholson in right bats eighth. And Jenkins is the pitcher. He bats ninth. We do not use the DH in HTBL Season 2, regardless of what Major League Baseball continues to do, bastardizing the game. For the Castaways, O'Doul is in left, a 4 and a 2 arm. Ellsbury is an 8 and a 4 in center. Drew is a 7 and a 6 in right. Thompson at third is a 6 there. Jackson is a 9 at short. Randolph a 7 at second. Fournier playing today. He is a 4 at first base. Bill Dickey behind the plate, an 8 and a 6 arm. Pitching, Waddy Clark who has a 5 rating as a pitcher defensively, and his fielding average not great at 892. So far on the year, he's 5-3, a 2.59 ERA. His WHIP and batting average below, well, actually above the pace that it should be. His WHIP is 11.33 and his average 2.51. So let me set up the preferences so the computer has control of Chicago. And Ryan Sandberg leads off. Ryan on the year has seen limited action, 231, no homers, 2 RBIs. And he is aboard with a walk to start the game. Chicago 23-16. Major leaguers are 25-14. They are both tied for the division lead in their respective divisions. Happy Felsch, 2 for 8 on the season, a 250 batting average, a homer and 3 ribbies. And this is hit to right. Drew will not even have to move to get the out. 1 gone. We'll have Montreal and Boston from Montreal, Stade Olympique, as I garble my French. And that will be on the Pay Hip channel. Just $1 to get that video. And we have quite a few videos up, and we do that 5 times a week. Gabby Hartnett, 261 on the season, 8 homers, 23 RBIs. And that's a grounder to short. Jackson to Randolph to Fournier, double play. So the Cubs looked promising at the start, but a double play ends the threat. And after a half inning, it's Chicago nothing, and the major leaguers coming up. We'll go through their batting order. Randolph leading off at second base. Ellsbury is at center field. He bats second. O'Doul in left, batting third. Bill Dickey behind the plate, bats fourth. Fournier in first base, bats fifth. Travis Jackson, the shortstop, batting sixth. Thompson at third, bats seventh. Drew in right, bats eighth. Clark is your pitcher, batting ninth. Defensively for the Cubs, Minoso, a 9 and a 6 in left. Felsch, a 9 and a 9 at center. Remember, there are White Sox on this team. Bill Nicholson is a 5 and a 7 in right. Santo, a 9 at third. Banks is an 8 at short. Sandberg is an 8 at second. Konerko is a 6 at first. Behind the plate, Gabby Hartnett of Homer in the Gloman fame, a 7 and a 7. And Fergie Jenkins, you see him there, is your pitcher, a 7 and a 970 fielding average. Randolph will lead off. Pretty decent bunter at an 8, but I'm going to swing away. And this is hit to center. Felsch didn't have to move much. 1 gone. Jenkins on the year, 397, 5 and 2. 65 and 2 innings pitched, 2/3 innings pitched, 15 walks, 47 Ks. His WHIP is 1051, which is a little above what it should be, but his opposing batting average, 219, which is a little below what it should be. And let me cue up Randolph here because I forgot to mention his stats. He came into, well, with that at bat, he is now hitting 370 with 3 homers and 18 RBIs on the season. Ellsbury, 257, has been almost an everyday player. 2 homers and 14 ribbies, and Jenkins will deal to him. Strike 3. That is K number 1 for Jenkins to go to 48 on the year. Lefty O'Doul, 283, 2 homers, 11 RBIs. And yes, he hits left-handed. And this is going to be a grounder, a base hit to left. Minoso scoops it up, and O'Doul improves his batting average to 290. Bill Dickey, a 245 hitter, 4 homers, and 17 RBIs. And Jenkins will deal. Grounder right to Konerko, and he steps on the first base bag, and the side is retired for the major leaguers. I let the computer make all the base running decisions, by the way. So we've played an inning, no score. Minnie Minoso up, oh my goodness, 482 on the season, but he's only had 56 at-bats. He is red hot, 27 for 56. 4 homers and 14 RBIs. His OPS is obscene at 1.343. He would lead if he had some more at-bats. And that's a grounder to Clark over to Fournier, but Fournier had trouble with it. Bad throw by Clark. That is an error. That's got to be E1, I would think. Minoso goes to second base on the error. Ron Santo up. 200 on the year, 3 homers and 3 RBIs. The pitch.
Strike 3.
And that is strikeout number 1 for Clark. Get the 39 on the season. Should have a surprise video for you all this coming week. Only known if you were on the Digital to Dice Discord server, because I just mentioned it about an hour ago there. So if you go there, you'll know what the surprise is. 255, 8 homers, 225 RBIs for Ernie Banks. Strike 3. So that's back-to-back Ks for Waddy Clark, the lefty. Konerko up, 313 on the year, a homer and 6 RBIs. Runner at second. That's going to be a base hit, and that might bring Minoso home. It does, and the Cubbies take a 1-0 lead over the Major Leaguers. The expected pitch counts for both pitchers, Jenkins can go 130, and Clark should be able to go 140. But he's got to get out of trouble here. Nicholson up, 429, but he's 3 for 7. He has not seen a lot of playing time. We have a 100-man roster, so that's quite likely. Randolph, the Fournier side, retired, but the Cubbies, the Chicagoans, pick up a run, and they lead 1-0 on the Major Leaguers. Fournier is 3 for 18. He has not seen a lot of playing time. 167 on the season. And that's going to be a sharp base hit. Felsch picks it up in center, and the Major Leaguers are going to try to answer the Cubbies here in the bottom of the second. Travis Jackson up, 215 on the year, 4 homers and 12 RBIs. And that's K number 2 for Fergie. So far, he has needed 23 pitches. Clark has needed 38. But Jenkins has only pitched an inning and a third. Hank Thompson up, the former New York Giant. 224, no homers and 10 RBIs. That's a base hit up the middle. So the Castaways are basically the teams, basically the players that the other 27 teams did not pick. Kind of like in the HTBL, the Las Vegas Ironmen. So runners at first and second for J.D. Drew. A disappointing season for him so far. 194, no homers, 3 RBIs, but he could change that with a swing of the bat here. First and second with 1 out. And Fournier going for third. He is in there. That is stolen base. Looks like number 1. It's behind the graphic, so it's either 1 or 4. No, I don't. I don't want to pinch hit for him. I want to show Fournier's. Let's end the mystery once and for all on how many stolen bases. That's his first stolen base of the season, and he stole third. So perhaps the Cubbies were not looking for that. Now runners at the corners with 1 out for Drew. A throw to first. Thompson back. Bottom of the second, 1-0 in favor of the Cubs. And Fergie with his 3rd K of the game in just 2 innings. 3 of the 5 outs so far for the Castaways have been Ks. Now I'm not going to do a pinch hitter here for Waddy Clark, but with 2 outs I got to let him swing away. The pitch. Strike 3, so that's 4 Ks now for Fergie. And did he strike out the side? Yes, he did. He got all the 3 outs by a K. So we have played 2 innings, 1-0 in favor of Chicago. Now Jenkins is hitting 130 on the year, a homer and a ribby. Clark does not have 4 Ks. That's just left over from when the Cubs were in the field. Grounder to second, over to first, 1 out in the top of the 3rd. And we go back to the top of the order, and Ryan Sandberg. Sandberg walked in the first inning, so that's why he does not have an official at bat. And this is Randolph throwing to first in there, 4-3, and that's 2 outs now for Happy Felsch. Felsch is 0 for 1. And this is off the wall, and we have an injury to the center fielder. Off the wall, and that was Felsch. Okay, what happened here? Double to the wall. Ellsbury was injured. So we gotta, and he's out of the game, so we gotta bring in a new center fielder. And we have with 100-man rosters, you got a lot to choose from. I'm gonna go with Pete Reiser, and he will bat second. He's a 7 and a 7 in center field. He used to play for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Hartnett is 0 for 1 after the first Felsch double. And that's going to be a base hit that could bring in Felsch. It does. It's 2-0 in favor of the Cubbies. So an RBI single for Hartnett. He has an RBI, and Konerko had an RBI earlier. Minoso is 0 for 1. Up the middle. And that was either a 4-3 or a 6-3. Let me see here. Grounded to second. Okay. So after 2.5, it's the Cubbies 2 and the Castaways nothing. Castaways got off to a good start this season, but they kind of slacked off a bit. Randolph, top of the order up for the Castaways. He is 0 for 1. And he is aboard with a walk. And you'll have to watch him at first. Now, I don't control when they're going to send Randolph, but we'll see. Reiser now gets his first at-bat of his season. He has not seen action. Safe as they try a pickoff move at first. Nobody out, bottom of the third, a runner on at first base. And Randolph in there. He steals his 5th base of the season. So the Castaways might have something going here in the bottom of the third. It's a 2-0 game. We'll take a commercial break after 4.5. Another 30-second break. The pitch to Reiser. Up the middle. Jenkins grabs it over to first, and that allows Randolph to move to third. So O'Doul is up 1 for 1 on the day. Up the middle, Jenkins to Konerko, and Randolph had to hold at third for the second out. Dickey is 0 for 1, and he struck out. 5 Ks now for Fergie Jenkins, and after 3, it's 2-0 Cubbies. Santo back up, 0 for 1 today. Always a threat to hit long, and that's Clark's 3rd K of the game. So we've had 8 Ks in just the first 3 and a fraction innings. Ernie Banks back up, 0 for 1. Up the middle, hit solidly. A base hit to center. Reiser scoops it up, throws it in the infield. And Banks on board with a single. Konerko up 1 for 1. That's going to be a base hit to left. And does Banks go to third? He does. So runners at the corners for the Cubbies for Nicholson, who is 0 for 1. Waddy Clark now up to 73 pitches. And I don't think they'll keep him out there that much longer if he continues to give up scores. The pitch. That's going to be a base hit to right, a long drive. It's a home run. Nicholson. That ball just kept going and going and going. A 3-run home run for Bill Nicholson, and it is 5-0. Let's see if we could get Clark out of the inning at least. Here is Jenkins, 0 for 1. No, a base hit to center, right center. And with Sandberg up, time to give Clark the hook. And we're going to go to, let's see, I don't want to put my closer in, so I need to check my bullpen real quick. Papelbon is the closer. Whole host of pitchers we could use here. And I'm going to go to Hoyt Wilhelm to come into the game, who wasn't picked by the Giants or any other team. This is going to be his first action of the season. On his card, he's 11-7, 231 on the season. Opponent should hit 213 off of him. And Sandberg is 0 for 1, an old knuckleballer. Up the middle, but caught by Reiser, or was it caught by Reiser? Looks like the runners have moved up. They're going to say it's a single. Just just dropped right in front of Reeser for the base hit. And the Cubs with a rally here in the fourth. Only one out. Runners at first and second for Happy Felsch, who's 1 for 2. And he is drilled. And some members of the Chicago squad take a few steps up the dugout. But order was never needed to be restored because order was never lost. Order. So it's Gabby Hartnett, a dangerous hitter to be facing here, 1 for 2. And I'm going to bring my infield in halfway. Strike 3 called. That's the first K for Wilhelm of the season and this game. Minoso is 0 for 2. And that is going to force in a run on a bases-loaded walk. That'll be an RBI for Minoso, and it is 6-0. Santo is 0 for 2. And this is going to be a slow grounder to Jackson. He'll throw to first. Does he get Santo? He does. Side retired, but damage done in that fourth. The Cubs pick up 4. And after 3.5, it's 6-0. Fournier is 1 for 1 on the day. And this is hit well. It's going to be close. Felsch will make the grab at the warning track for the first out. So let's see if the Castaways can rally. They have not had a good performance in these last few games. Travis Jackson is 0 for 1. Up, and that's going to be a base hit to left. And Jackson is aboard. Where are we on the lineup? It's Hank Thompson to hitting. We're going to have to do a lot of pinch hitting here, but we'll have the roster to do it aplenty. Thompson is 1 for 1. And this is Sandberg to Banks, and they get the force at second, and that's it. 2 outs now in the bottom of the fourth for J.D. Drew, who is 0 for 1. Strike 3 called, 6 Ks for Fergie Jenkins. We have played 4 innings, and your score is 6-0 in favor of the Cubs, of course. I don't have my graphic anymore. My Big Pauly's World of Sports. Oh, the logo is over here now. Okay, I was just checking something on the OBS for later. Banks is 1 for 2. And this is going to be popped up. Randolph in closing on the ball, making the grab. 1 out. Konerko is 2 for 2. Wilhelm, Fournier, 2 outs now. We're an out away from a station break. And Nicholson is 1 for 2 on the day. And this is also going to be a lazy pop-up for Randolph. He's got it. We'll take a station break. You're watching HTBL Baseball right here on the Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims channel. If you like the video you're watching, feel free to use the Amazon link provided. I'll put it in the description down below. We're back with you. Bottom of the 5th inning. It's a 6-0 lead for the Cubbies. The Castaways will try to fight back in this game. Wilhelm up at the plate, and he was no shrinking violet at the plate. He did hit a couple of home runs in his career, and I think he hit 1 on his first at bat. But we're going to have to bring in a pinch hitter for practical purposes. And with Jenkins being a right-handed pitcher, I'm going to bring in, we got a couple of O'Neills. We have Paul O'Neill and we have Tip O'Neill. No, not the former House Speaker, but the baseball player. I'm going to go to Paul here. On the season, O'Neill is 271, 2 homers, and 9 RBIs. And this is sharply hit. Nicholson going back, but he makes the grab at the warning track. 1 out in the Castaways' 5th. Willie Randolph is 0 for 1. And this is a grounder to Konerko. He steps on the bag for the 2nd out. Let's go back to the lineup tab. It's Pete Reeser up 0 for 1 on the game and for the season. And that's going to be a base hit with a little bit of a knuckle on it. And Reeser aboard. What I remember, Reeser was a pretty decent base runner. 55% chance of stealing second. Lefty O'Doul is 1 for 2. There'll be a confab at the mound before all this happens. And this is hit, a slow grounder to second. Banks to Konerko. Out is the call. Close play, but a great play by Banks. We have played 5 innings. It is 6-0, and I got to go to the bullpen. Call to the bullpen, as they often say these days on the major league level on television. He'll be pitching to Jenkins, Sandberg, and Felsch, all righties. But I want somebody who has could pitch for a little while. Dick Raditz is going to be the new pitcher. He has had 1 inning pitched, 1 walk, 2 Ks. His whip is 2. And opposing batters are hitting 250 off of him. He should be averaging at about 280. So Jenkins, 1 for 2, stays in. And that's the first K for Raditz. Jenkins, by the way, at 79 pitches through 5. He could probably make it through the game if he doesn't run into trouble. Sandberg is 1 for 2. And this is hit by Raditz. He seemed to have bobbled it there. Went under the glove of Raditz. It's an infield hit for Ryne Sandberg, who is 81%. So you forget how good of a base runner Sandberg is. Pickoff, save. That brings up Happy Felsch, a 300 hitter, 3 for 10. He's 1 for 2 today. And the Cubbies looking like they have something going here in the 6th to go along with the 4 they got in the 4th. Gabby Hartnett, 1 for 3. We'll hope the Castaways can turn a double play. A K for Raditz. So he's been awfully busy. Second K for him. He is now at 16 of his 50 pitches. Minoso is 0 for 2. This is going to be a grounder to third. Thompson, instead of stepping on the third base bag, goes to Fournier. And the side is retired. We have played 5.5. It is 6-0 in favor of the Cubbies. Bill Dickey is 0 for 2. And he gets on board with a base on balls. Only the second. Jenkins has given up. That brings up Jack Fournier, who is 1 for 2 on the day. The pitch. And this is hit well to center. Can Felsch get to it? Yes, he can. He covers a lot of ground in center with his 9 rating. And there's 1 out now in the 6th for Travis Jackson, who is 1 for 2 on the day, the former New York Giant. And Fergie with his 7th K of this game in 5 2/3 innings pitched. That brings up Hank Thompson, 1 for 2. 8 Ks now for Jenkins. Raditz is strong as he tries for his 2nd innings worth of work. And he faces Ron Santo, who is 0 for 3. Grounder to third. Thompson. Fournier. 1 out. Banks is 1 for 3. Oh, it hit him. That's the 2nd time in the game we've had an HBP go against the Cubs. And now you got a runner at first with 1 out for Paul Konerko, who is 2 for 3. And this is hit well and out of here. A home run for Paul Konerko. And we have an 8-0 lead now for Chicago. That was one of those balls that just kept going and going and going and got elevation just as it was getting to where Reeser was stationed. So Bill Nicholson is up. He is 1 for 3. We're going to try to let Raditz finish the inning at 28 pitches. Dickey under it for the 2nd out. Fergie Jenkins hitting again. He's 1 for 3. Sharply hit. Base hit goes all the way to the wall, and Jenkins is in with his 2nd double of the season. Mercy, mercy, mercy. We're going to try to get out of the inning one more time with Raditz. We're going to go to Sandberg. Hit to first. Fournier to the bag, unassisted. Stretch time. 8-0 Cubs. bump, 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 bump. Big Pauly with you with 7th inning stretch time in Anaheim, but it's not a good occasion as the Castaways are trailing by 8. We had them earlier in the year a couple of occasions, but I don't recall ever seeing them get drubbed this badly. Drew is 0 for 2 when we go to the pitcher's spot. And this is hit well to right. This has a lot of carry to it, and that is gone. J.D. Drew with a home run. It's 8-1. And you wonder if this will be the start of something big for the Castaways. First homer of the year for Drew. Dick Raditz is grabbing a bat, but he's getting pulled. And we had Paul O'Neill earlier. We're going to go to Tip O'Neill here. So that's the first run given up all game for Fergie Jenkins, who is now at 103 pitches. Tip O'Neill on the season, 343, 4 homers, 9 RBIs. And that's K number 9 for Fergie, so he's one shy of 10. And Willie Randolph at the plate with 1 out in the 7th, 0 for 2. And this is going to be a base hit. So Randolph on board. And this brings up Pete Reeser, who entered the game in favor of Jacoby Ellsbury earlier. 1 for 2. Strike 3, and there it is. 10 Ks for Ferguson Jenkins. That brings up Lefty O'Doul, 1 for 3. And that's going to be a base hit up the middle. Randolph goes for third. He's in there. Single for O'Doul, the 8th hit of the game for the Castaways. Ferguson Jenkins now at 122 pitches, so it's looking less and less likely he will go the distance. Bill Dickey in, 0 for 2 today. And this is hit well to left. But Minoso's going to get to it, and he does. And the side is retired, so the Castaways score, but they only get 1. We have played 7-8-1 in favor of the Cubs, so we need to bring in somebody from the bullpen. I don't use warm-up rules. Too many players to pick from to worry about, okay, who are you going to warm up in the bullpen? It's righty, righty, righty for the Cubbies. And I'm going to go with Ellis Kinder and hope he can get through 2 innings. Kinder on the season, this will be his first appearance. Felch in at the plate, he is 1 for 2. This is a grounder to first. Fournier unassisted for the first out. So if you want to see some more HTBL baseball, go over to payhip.com/Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims, and by the end of the evening I should have up the Boston-Montreal game. It's yours for only $1. Hartnett is 1 for 4. Strike 3 called. That is the first K for Kinder in the game and in the season, of course. Minoso is 0 for 3. And he gets a base hit here. That is going to make him 1 for 4. And he continues to hit at a blistering pace. He's now hitting 467. Santo is 0 for 4. And it hits him. Third time today we have seen the Cubbies get thrown at. So first and second with 2 outs. And that is going to bring up Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub, 1 for 3. And this is going to be popped up to Jackson. He should make the play. He does, and that's going to retire the side for the Cubs. 7.5 gone by. It is 8-1 in favor of the Cubbies. Do a statistical recap before we leave, because I forgot to do it at the start of the game. Fournier is 1 for 3. And this is hit well to center. Felch gets to it, though, for the first out. And now Fergie is gone over his expected pitch count. We'll see how that will affect the rest of the game. Travis Jackson, the 6-hitter, is 1 for 3. Hit well to the left. Minoso making the grab. 2 outs. So they're making contact on Jenkins, but they're not getting results. Hank Thompson is 1 for 3. And this is hit well to left, but Minoso should get to that with his range, and he does. So the ball hit sharply off of Jenkins, but it doesn't produce any hits. At the end of 8, it is still 8-1 Cubbies. We go to Konerko, who is 3 for 4. He'll be followed by Nicholson, and we'll see what they do with the pitcher spot up after that. Konerko is 3 for 4. Kinder working his second inning. And this is hit well to left, but O'Doul will get to it first out of the inning. Nicholson, 1 for 4. Base hit to right. Be interesting to see what they do here with Fergie. 2 for 4. Did they pull him? No.
Strike 3.
But Kinder strikes him out. Kinder, by the way, is a 2 defensively as a pitcher, and his fielding average 944. Ryan Sandberg is 1 for 4. And this is hit well to left. Very well. It's going back. It's gone. And Rhino makes it 10-1. He touches them all. And that is homer number 1 this season for Sandberg, if you can believe that, because he had a couple of years where he hit 40. So it's 10-1. And the fans are leaving. Try to beat the traffic. Some had already left already. And Felsch is 1 for 3. Back to Kinder, over to Fournier's side, retired. But the Cubbies pick up another deuce. And we'll go to the bottom of the ninth with the score 10-1. It's going to be Drew, the pitcher spot, and Randolph up for the Castaways. And Drew had a home run earlier. That is hit well to right too, but right to Nicholson. And we've seen enough of Jenkins apparently for the Chicago manager's taste. It's going to be Clay Bryant entering the game. He has pitched 5 innings, and he's been shellacked pretty good. 3.2 whip, and opposing hitters are 400 off of him. And let's get somebody in for Kinder. I'm going to go with Carl Furillo, the Brooklyn Dodger. On the season so far, he's 7 for 25. No homers, 3 RBIs, 280. And Bryant will deal to Furillo. But that goes right to Felsch for out number 2. Last chance to dance for the major leaguers, the Castaways, and Randolph 1 for 3. This is Sandberg. This should end the game. It does. Side retired. And Chicago is your 10-1 winner. 10 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the Cubbies. For the major leaguers, 1 run, 8 hit, 2 errors. Your winner was Ferguson Jenkins. He goes to 6-2. Waddy Clark will take the loss. He goes to 5-4. Konerko went 3 for 5. Sandberg went 2 for 5. They each had homers, and so did Nicholson, 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Drew was the only standout for the Castaways, 1 for 4 and a homer. And your MVP for this game was Fergie Jenkins. Not really surprising. So I'll go through the stats real quick, and then we'll get on out of here. And I'll wait for Dave Koch Sports Baseball 2022, which is what we use. We use the 2020 historical collection for these games, but every modern franchise, every current franchise, has the player with the best WAR from 2021 on it, just for a little spice. And for the franchises that have 2 teams, like for instance Chicago, the Cubs, and the White Sox, we took the 2 best players from 2021. No, I do not want to play another game. Could you just show me the other screen, please? There we go. Thank you. So far on the season, Vladimir Guerrero is the best hitter, 397, leading Ted Williams at 370, Morneau at 348. Gehringer for Detroit is 346. Todd Helton is 341. The best pitchers, Bob Feller is now leading at 182 on the ERA. Gibson right behind him, 183. He had that season where he had an ERA of 112 in 1968. And again, I'm losing my screen here. No, I do not want to play another game. I do not want to play another game. Whitey Ford is at 210. Dizzy Dean at 211. David Wright for New York, Vladimir Guerrero each have 11 home runs to lead the HTBL. Guerrero also has 44 RBIs, and Ted Williams leading on OPS at 1223. Clarkson of Chicago has the most wins at 9. Nen, the most saves for San Francisco at 14. And Feller is your strikeout leader at the moment with 83. So this has been the HTBL for this week, at least on the Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims channel. Tune over to PayHip for our second game, Boston at Montreal. Until then, this has been Big Pauly coming to you, wishing you all Godspeed and God bless. We will do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.